Hello everybody and welcome back to our channel. Today Ethereum is pumping, it's still continuing to do its thing. It is a beautiful moment, so don't forget to subscribe, drop a comment below, and hammer on that like button. Let's take a look at what actually is going on. I love being an Ethereum holder at this moment because I fully see exactly how wonderful it's really doing. Today, Ethereum is at 4,495, still pushing strong, looking wonderful. It is continuing to actually climb, so we will continue to watch on that. Now, Ethereum, no matter what is going on, it is definitely an alt season, so it shows that in the market as well. And Bitcoin continues to do its thing as well, and exactly giving power to those other altcoins, and especially those other gaming coins. And we'll get into that in just a moment, and I will show you more information based on the market as well. So Ethereum doing its thing, right? So the last time that we had this buyer option, this wonderful time to really buy in, was that really bullish moment back in September. That was the big moment there. A lot of people bought into this, right? This candle right here. They bought into it, and maybe if you were thinking that maybe it wasn't such a good idea, but actually it was. So the thing is if you're buying right here, I would be a little cautious. The reason being is because if we spend too much time here, it could actually give a little bit of problems. But all in all, it looks fantastic, right? Even if you bought in at this point right here, you're still going to have big profits. So I think that is a pretty good trade. If you bought into this, of course, and all it was that 1 or 2 months that we actually had that dip, right? So let's see, from September, we had September, and then kind of just moving in that 1 month, honestly, up until October. And then Ethereum started to climb. We had that beautiful couple of days here where it actually was just like green candle, green candle, green candle, and then a little bit of red, right? But it did have that ascension looking very, very bullish. The only moment that Ethereum really got a little scary was here in October, the 21st, right, 24th, and it continued, and we had that beautiful green candle here. And this is where we are. It is still climbing as we speak, so it's looking fantastic. Looking at the daily, or I'm sorry, the weekly. The weekly is what I love to look at the most, right? Of course, the daily can be a little nerve-wracking, but looking at the weekly, it's still very, very beautiful. As you can see, wonderful green candles. It shows very much about exactly the power that it's doing right now, looking very, very bullish. So if you're an Ethereum holder, you should be very proud. Hold on to that exactly. Now, when we compare Ethereum, for example, to Bitcoin, and that's what we're going to do here. Let's compare it to Bitcoin, and let's take a look, right? So to compare to Bitcoin, it's still doing pretty good. So very, very great, right? So Bitcoin is kind of moving sideways still, but you can still see Bitcoin is kind of moving up the same as well. So it does look rather interesting. But so Bitcoin is giving power to that alt season, right? All right. So speaking of Bitcoin, this is why we have Bitcoin for the day. Bitcoin is just moving sideways. It is kind of just doing its thing. It's that time of year. We are in a crypto winter. Moving forward, so you can see that this movement is just kind of doing its thing here. That bottom here that kind of fell out around 58,000. But I do want to be cautious now. So we spoke before in a previous video about Bitcoin. I told you my prediction that Bitcoin actually kind of start to dwindle on down to around 54,000, and I'm still holding on to that. And what has me nervous is that we're kind of hanging on here to that bottom half. So as you can see, when we have that bottom half here, that makes me a little nervous. But it's still, because there's more red than we can see, and especially this is for the daily now, guys. Looking for the weekly, what we have is also, it looks okay too, but it's still showing that sideways action, and that's what I want to be more cautious on, because we do have that red candle kind of hanging out. So be cautious on that when we're comparing. Solana, also another coin doing fantastic. Now, Solana is also going in perfectly, looking very, very bullish as well. We spoke on this too, of course, back in September. The same things happened across the board here, across the crypto metaverse. It did kind of take a little slower dive here in September, but then started moving sideways, up and down, up and down. up into around the 20th of October. It started building back up, creating some beautiful, beautiful candles, lighting the way for some gains. So Solana is doing very good. As a matter of fact, Solana is doing so good, it actually passed Cardano. Not only did it pass Cardano as we predicted before, but it actually passed Tether as well. When we compare with Solana to Cardano, for example, let's take a look at that. So comparing the two, still looking fantastic. You can see just that sideways ugly movement to the two. So we did have that ugly movement. So to compare, of course, without no doubt that it was going to happen. And of course for the weekly, and again, this is what we're looking at here. Solana is still looking fantastic, even more beautiful. It's absolutely killing it. So it is hanging out at 237 at the moment. So we'll keep on keeping our eyes on that. Of course, speaking of Cardano, it's still bleeding out, hemorrhaging out, losing profits. People across the world are screaming, probably breaking computers and bailing out as well, which I do not blame them. I think I would definitely sell, and if I had enough money to buy a new computer, if I had that, I would definitely be selling Cardano to do that. But if that was possible, right? So it is kind of looking very ugly, still very, very ugly. Now this is the daily chart again too. It has just completely been a catastrophic nightmare for everybody. Looking at the weekly still nothing good you can say, right? So this is what we have. When you compare it with everything else, it's just absolutely not. XRP, another beautiful coin that's actually doing fantastic right now too. Is XRP still killing it as well? Good bullish area. We do have the red candle kind of hanging out here, but we're still doing fairly well. The last bottom here is what we had, but it's still looking pretty great. So we can watch that as well. But XRP is still killing it. We're still waiting on news for that lawsuit, which I think will really take a very big jump, which is a little risky right now. XRP is considering that, but I do believe it's going to go up. I think they're going to win their lawsuit, and we're still going to be able to kill it out. Looking at the weekly for this as well, the weekly is what we like to see, right? So weekly is doing its thing, looking great too. Had some sideways action here in September, but of course here at the beginning of November and October, still looking very, very good. All right, looking at the market. So the market is looking just fantastic. It is doing great. It's doing great for the simple fact it is the altcoin season, guys. Bitcoin for the 24 is at 1.85%, and the daily and the weekly is at the 81% as well. Ethereum, it is in the minus by 1.35% on the 24 hours. On the weekly, it is up 7%. That is killing it. It's doing really, really good. Of course, Solana, as we were just speaking about, Solana is up 5% for the daily and 1966% for the weekly. Fantastic. Tether, speaking of, it is kind of hanging out, breaking even here for the daily. And for the weekly, it is still pretty much doing the same at 0.02% as well. Of course, Cardano is still in the red, as we spoke about, at 4.88% and 272. Now, XRP, again, that other coin that is killing it at 0.36% and the upwards of 10.83% for the weekly. So you see, guys, it is actually doing good. These gaming coins are the coins to be watching for as well. Polkadot is also nailing it at 23.04% for the weekly. And for the day, 3.78. Fantastic. Just absolutely fantastic. Now, Shiba did start taking a dive, actually. It was pumping, which it is a beta coin, so not watching it. I would keep an eye out for a lot of these coins. These gaming coins that were really not so big, they're actually Bitcoins now. So watch out for those. There's other coins that are going to make it, and I believe towards the end of November, we're going to have some new coins actually start ramping up. So we definitely want to keep watching for those as well. Sandbox is another one to keep an eye on. Giving that being said, so we do want to wait for Sandbox to kind of do its thing, but we will see it as well. So don't worry, just keep that in mind. So that's where we are for today. Of course, now the thing to really watch now, Solana becomes the fourth biggest NFT blockchain. this is what we're seeing in the chart, guys. In the news, so is it the fourth most popular blockchain in terms of non-fungible tokens sales volume? According to data suggester CryptoSlam, Solana's NFT sales are the fourth largest by volume. Leading the pack is Ethereum, now followed by Ronin, which is a sidechain developed for the Axie Infinity play-to-earn game, and worldwide asset exchange, WAX. All right, guys, and Bitcoin remains the king of Roy despite hyped meme coins. Of course, we knew that already, right? So that is all we have for today. Do subscribe, drop a comment below, and we will have some new news for you as well. And I will give you my opinion on what next coins to watch out for in this next big pump that we should be able to actually earn some big, big bucks. Don't forget to subscribe, drop a comment below, and I will catch you guys next time.